Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia, in which during the last few episodes we have expanded into the Pontic Steppe region, which introduced us to the Cossacks. And we do have these few uncontested claims which will expire soon, but it's better that we will get them right now. Because I am very anxious about taking Venice. But keep in mind that yeah, don't mind that it's a 0 out of 850. 850. Because let's just say we do have enough governing capacity to hopefully... Yeah, we should. If we can get most of that. Even though I do not have a claim on Verona. As much as our ally Genoa does. But I do have claims there, there, and there. Especially here. Because I want the most developed and one of the richest areas in that part of Europe. For about a century, we often carried out a threat about expanding into Italy, which we never carried out this threat as we were much focused on the Balkans. And with the Ottomans now mainly in Anatolia, except for the Caucasia, which one day Circassia will go to the Croatian Pontic Steppe area, because most of it is actually steppe. There, and there. Which is just to help out with the Cossacks, just to get some of their territory. But even though, as much as I would like to have Cossacks, infantry, and cavalry, just like the Rajputs, but I would just say not now, because we're about to get into that war, and we will no doubt control the riches of Venezia that will be able to afford such things. Even though the base maintenance out of all of these are the same, except they pack quite a bit of wallop if improved upon. So there's no time for Cossack cavalry and infantry. And you know, let me say that again. 4 and 4, so it's almost like you could create a fourth army. The Cossack army. Croatian Cossack army. And give them artillery as well. I could see that. Even though we would still have to bring regulars just to compensate. We have the land force limit, but we're about to get ourselves involved in this big war. And I say big because look at who we're taking on. The Knights and 2 Sicilies. We'll be bringing Commonwealth, Genoa, and Tuscany in. Aquilina will not be coming, that's too far away. Neither is the Caramanids, as they're fighting on another war. Even without that modifier, they still wouldn't come. And Mamlukian ruler is malevolent. I would have loved to have the Mamluks help. I see. Nowhere. Are you a States General? General States political absolutism? It's Mamluk government. Just wondering how does that work over there? I mean, our army is pretty well drilled. You know, I was about to say, you know what, switch places. And plus, I'm sending all the ships to Saloon to with all that money that we still have, maybe we should upgrade these ships. Of course, this would mean further delay for our war. I'll take the prestige hit. We'll be gaining some during the course of this upcoming war. Hey, you too. Everybody must come. be mothballed as we sent you to Zagreb, so that way you'll be safe. Because we still need them for, you know, whenever the time is right to send the army to get the knights out of the war. But most of the fight will be consist of the Italian mainland, obviously. Now, how much is it to upgrade all these ships? That's a whole fortune. Well, perhaps, I'll get a loan. Of course, it'll reduce to 1% during the sailors to be returned to the sailor pool just to get them back in. Again, we're supposed to be having galleons, early frigates, and galleons instead of these old ship types, because look where they are. The diplomatic level is the same with us, so we have to assume that their ships are upgraded. Don't want to go into combat with old obsolete ships. So do upgrade them all. And there is a shipyard here which will get it built faster, so that's why we want to delay it a bit. Controversial move, but I believe it's for the best. They're all upgraded. Wait. This one early frigate, Duca de Lorena. I was about to say, what was the last war that we fought? Oh yes, the Ottomans. I think that was a ship that, based on that name and of an Italian origin, I would have to assume that was a Venetian ship captured by the Ottomans, and then we captured it from the Ottomans, and it was a early frigate. I'll just take this one loan. I know inflation will be increased, but hey, at least we have this. You'll be fine. Total interest payment amounts. Yeah, you got it. Just one. Then that's that. So these ships will be in repair. And you know, quite honestly, he's an old admiral, but I fear that he won't live long enough. But just in case, and yes, I'm going to use that up for this, even though we don't get much. Let me think. Just think of a name. I doubt he's related to him. Okay, that's 2 fire, no shock, 1 or 2 siege. Well, it's the best we can afford, so this young admiral will be on standby in case the old man, you know, croaks or something. So, in other words, this admiral of ours isn't going to be as good. And keep in mind, even though we have the 2nd largest navy in the world, says the statistics that I looked up before recording. So this is what happens when you go over the force limit, which I never knew this until I see it now. You'll be paying even more. That's the penalty. That's why I don't go over the limit on anything. I'm sure we'll be going over the limit to this. And knowing that we are a very large navy, and if I have the money, which I do, you took up the loan for goodness sake. You should switch to the naval doctrine. Can't afford to change. Oh yeah, wait 1 month. Hang on. Okay, check again. can't afford... Oh, oh, I see that the cost amount. Good God. You would take up 2 more loans for that, but no. Don't be silly. So we need to get rid of that shipboarding thing because I believe we have enough transports to send 1 army at a time. Probably this, since we have a good number of light ships that we'd like to be a merchant navy. What's our naval maintenance compared to? Oh, not much. So it would have to be either of these two, if you can afford it. One day when we control the Venice area, that means that you'll have even more trade power, which we don't have right now, but when we knock Venice out, we'll try to control most of it. I don't know about Ferrara, because I don't have a claim on that area too. But I'd like to have Verona, because perfume capital there. But Venice itself is a world port. It has the Murano glass industry and the ghetto. We do have one there, but controlling all of it would help it. Even though we're only getting very little amount right now. Unless you're going to send a merchant somewhere else. Apparently Aleppo. So that's one. That's what happens when we collect. But I was about to say, you know, sending them over there is just temporary. Yep, that's the kind of nation we've become. Not only a grand princedom, but also more content about controlling areas that would have to have the strongest trade power around here, but which is still Commonwealth. When the autonomy lowers a bit further and further, which I've not bothered to lower in manually, knowing what we're about to get into. So all I have to do is just wait for the Navy to get full repairs. When it's fully repaired, declare war. And regarding Croatia's enemies, which Russia is our newest enemy, counter-espionage. I don't want them to do anything silly with us. It's kind of dangerous to know that they're allied with Austria, because they lack friends and they need friends. So of course, befriend one of the enemies of Croatia. Bastard. What else? Stop currying favors with them. You already got enough as it is. Try not to give them any ideas. Simply for the sake of it, just trade him for trust all the way. And yes, those pirates are raiding again, devastating the country. So, once I'm done with Venice, I gotta do something with that pirate threat. No, I mean, deploying pirate hunting for our galleys is one thing, but maybe establishing the presence in northern Africa as a way of eliminating piracy for good seems like a good idea in theory. Don't forget the Mamluks are still at war with Medina and the Ottomans. I'm sure they will be making territorial gains. And hopefully give some territory to the Karamanese. And I'm sure they'll make some gains on this side for the Mamluks. Morale is full, but the ships are not fully repaired yet. Even if I were to afford little more than the Navy, I would like to have 6 heavy ships. Oh boy, here they go. Or not. Alright, we're ready. Keep in mind, they got a lot of ships, but we gotta catch them off guard. Set sail. Head to the Gulf of Venice. Once it's in position, get ready for the offensive. That's one of the good ones. Like a 2 fire, 2 shock, 3 maneuver, 1 siege. Not as good. That's why we put you back there. There's a lot of galleys. And there's 2 galleys, 1 light ship, which we can just get them off. Get them off guard. This will arrive on the 22nd, but the movement ain't locked yet. Which means we can sink them very easily. And the army is drilling because they aren't expecting to go to any kind of conflict anytime soon. Honestly, the Mamluks could join. Ask them again. Yes, full of trust. And yes, you are at war. Oh my goodness. Also, who's Naji? Allied of the Mamluks. Okay. They'll probably vassalize you later on. You know, those Mamluks, they might as well be the Caliphate. But you know what I mean. Ready, boys? Because this was going to be a tough one. But I got plenty of friends. And we'll be mainly fighting on the naval front up there. The Genoese and Tuscan navies, especially the Genoese, you know, pretty good in their own right. At least you got plenty of heavy ships. Wish I would have a couple more. Main objective, Venezia. To get to Venezia, we got to get that big fort down. Well, they have no fort in Venezia itself. And so, here we go. Already engaged. Move on. Stay close. As long as we keep their army over there. Yeah, keep them from going anywhere. As long as our fleet's in position. Unless we may get overwhelmed by these ships, but consider this as a preemptive strike more than a war declaration. Imperial ban. I'm also sending that we are already doing counter-espionage. It's just to stop them from getting any ideas with them. As much as I don't like to pay the interest rate, but hey, this helps, but yeah, do that. And we'll get a little more papal influence as time goes by, and subsequently, when we get back to converting a few more. But since we're going to be taking over Catholic provinces in the area, yes, all Catholic, it'll go up. You'll be fine. Yep, gave them a first strike. And we took 2 light ships from them. And these are early frigates. The ones that we captured. They're not they're not gonna stop. But we're coming in. And we got them blockaded and they have nowhere to run. As I said, like to have Verona for myself in addition to all of these. Because look, controlling the entire state, we do have the governing capacity. Yeah, yeah, definitely capable of having all of this. So that means, yes, we are entering that area for the first time. All the other ships that remained at sea, well, as I said, yeah, everybody's caught off guard now. Catch them while they have low morale. Well, we could have done better. As far as manpower loss is concerned. But in case if that happens again, we'll get them out. That looks like one of their main fleets. And these transports will be on standby. But as soon as we take that fort, we will have the objective. But to get a head start, down 21, because we want to get to there as quickly as possible. Oh, they're at sea now. As long as they could support each other, good. 4 heavy ships. But Commonwealth will be coming. I was about to say Bologna's involved. Is that a vassal of Venice? Oh no, vassal of two Sicilies, excuse me. All that money we're making through blockading. No matter what happens out at sea, we're not to leave. Isn't there a nearby shipyard where we can repair some of these ships that were damaged in battle? Yeah. If you can, repair damaged ships. Yes. Just repair these quickly, and if the battle comes, we'll get them out. Is there an improved version of shipyard? Hang on. There's a shipyard in Diplomatic Technology 24. Oh, that's far away from that to be even considering. And I'm not going to look at the discovery spread, and it appears that the American Midwest is starting to reveal itself as far as that minimap's concerned. So two Sicilies were fighting against the peasants. Well, we better get ready for an onslaught. Even though we can't support you right now, but you've gone the long way around, so perhaps you will help them out. Status quo. Damn it! Plus, you are the right guy for the job. You have siege... well, 2. Here comes the winged hussars. You can tell by that unit model or sprite. Whereas the Bosnian ones do share the same ones as you see the Croatian with that sprite uniform there. Now they're going to support. That got him. Probably go off the Trent. One more month. Again, it's the first time we ever faced those kind of defenses before in this siege. Oh, this one too. Clearly they have invested in defenses. Getting there. They're raiding everything. No admirals in charge. Blast. Unite with the rest. Who's there? Going after Genoa, I assume. MP in scandal. A minor scandal has occurred in the capital during the current debate. It seems rather than attend the session himself, the MPs from Azov was out disturbing the public space and harassing his landlady. The outrage is great for both among his peers and in the street is likely to haunt future parliaments for years. Well, we're trying to bribe him. Arrest the MP. But our chance of debate is still good. Yeah, pretty confident. Mamluks is ready for the call if needed. Karaman has expanded. The Mamluks did not, but I do like what I'm seeing for you lot. Too bad you won't join our future conflict against the Ottomans for whatever reason, likely for Circassia, which should start. I mean, you can't fabricate a claim during war, can you? Give it a try. If I will only call the Mamluks in if the naval front isn't good. Man, look at you guys. You are ahead of me. Based on the administrative tech. And I'll most definitely get this, and we'll worry about coring the very developed provinces at a later time. Yeah, I suspected. You sure? Enemy invasion imminent. You kidding? You aren't kidding. It's chaos. If we try to break away, but honestly, you'll dispatch them. Wherever they're going, deal with them. That doesn't look good. You're gonna get annihilated out there. Now where the hell is the Commonwealth? Why are you over there? Maybe they're waiting to attack Russia again. knowing them. Okay, they changed their mind on their invasion plan. Come back. Getting closer. How dare you? Really do not like fighting two Sicilies. In the sense of the naval front. But on land, however, different case. That got him. This fort is really holding out. Again, I'd like to have Verona for myself, but I don't want Genoa to be in the holder of that as they are now. You sure you want to go through with this? No, they're not. They're pulling back again. Come on, surrender, you bastards. Some members of Parliament are complaining that we're spending too much money on our military. Many of them are convinced that our production and trade will suffer if we don't cut back on military expenses. For how long? 2 years? Yeah, cut back on the military expenses just for a bit. The war's going to continue 2 years on anyhow. That's what I'm predicting. Of how long it's going to take. Finally, these bastards surrendered. It's open season. Get in there. They'll surrender shortly. Don't. You two are really good at between each other, do you? Let me help you with that, because you got no siege leader, and we know that's the job, even though he's damned. You know, I mean, the wall's already breached. But we have to get rid of their navy first. Before we will bring our transports loose to send one army to deal with what the hell is... Another territorial disagreements between these two pirate nations. Is that their whole army? Yes, it is! They sent them to Sardinia. They can't go back home if we send the navy to blockade them. If they can't go anywhere. And we could set loose. Yeah, I could see that happening. 46 days. Venezia has surrendered. They'll be kicked out of the port. And we will fight them here. With our many ships, no support from the enemy. So we have the objective, but it's long from being over. Hmm. Yeah, we can go through there. You'll probably want to stay back. In case. Captured one ship. That was a little. Okay. Captured one light ship and one galley. Boy, that's a lot of ships to repair a couple of holes in, but just head to Rijeka briefly. I know we don't have it fully repaired, but get out here, quick. In case that garrison surrenders. Oh, disease outbreak. Never mind, get back in there. So it's only another couple of days, which will give you time to repair them in a month. And we'll try quick as you can to keep their army in Sardinia. But we will try to get two Sicilies pieced out when they're not around. It's a smart move, really. Come back. I know some of you aren't fully repaired, but damn it, we need to destroy the Venetian navy. And they've done taking a fort. That's their capital, right? Correct. It's an old castle. Move to there. Discontent zone. The crooked charlatans of Austria have sown discontent among populations, will cause unrest in our country for years to come. Bastards! If only we didn't have a cruel man here. If we got rid of him, that will reduce the chances of any of that happening. Of course, that means the Greeks are more likely to revolt. Unless we have more stability and you know what I mean. Like, I can't switch the occupation. This fort's not falling. Send those. Send them this way. Fix a few more, and then you got them. There is still time to make more repairs, and we'll be back in action. Alright, lads, get out here. National sovereignty. So that means we have another idea group. But for now, please save the administrative save the administrative power to core these provinces. Now, I tend to go for quality, which would definitely get things up, especially the yearly army tradition. The abilities up, ship durability, morale of navies, attrition, and artillery combat ability as well. Even though I would also like to have maritime ideas, since we are, you know, a bit naval intensive, since we're over the limit, obviously. Because it's almost like we rule the Mediterranean and the Adriatic and the Black Sea. And plus, even if you were to go to maritime decisions, there's that decision. Which one of these following must be true, which we do not have the strongest trade power in any of those areas. And if you were, even if you did, then hey, at least that helps. Interesting. If you have a statesman as an advisor for more yearly prestige. But since we do not have the strongest trade power in any of these, so definitely quality. The other alternative is naval ideas, but that's our navy is already good enough. We have the largest navy in the Mediterranean. So there's no need for that, but we'll go for quantity, so that way our troops and cavalry will have fight better in combat. And so does our navy in terms of how long they can last out there. And when you complete the quality ideas, you get discipline. And since we will soon also complete the economic ideas, you will have weapon quality standards for even more discipline. You see, we're not the army of quantity. We will be a military of quality. Kind of like when you think about it, for those who are familiar with, you know, the history of Yugoslavia, because that's kind of what we are basically, except with the addition of Greece and Pontic Steppe, and now going into Italy through Venice. And it's kind of interesting that when I read about a little bit about the history of the Jugoslavenska Narodna Armia, the JNA, they said they were very, very well equipped. And due to the fact of me role-playing Yugoslavia minus the Socialist Federal Republic part, since we're a Grand Princedom, so that's what we are going for. That's what we're a couple of years ahead of time. We'll definitely pick this up first. Unless there's an urgent need for generals. Or whatever the parliament wants in order to bribe them. Now get them over here. Quickly. I'll be surprised if it doesn't fall. Nope, it has fallen. Move out. That means Navy's gonna get kicked out and we'll deal with what little's left of them. While we gotta keep their army in Sardinia, Corsica area. And possibly send one army, well, I mean, the way is clear now. To no doubt get them ready. We'll soon be going to there, which surprisingly they have no castle, no fort. There we go again. They're losing it, a lot of it. Captured 8 galleys and 2 transports, but they've lost a lot of ships. They're retreating further away. Follow them. Straight to Messenia. Napoli. Going to Napoli itself. Okay, good. Stay there. Don't worry about that army over there. Way is clear. Which area's got a shipyard? Corfu. No one's gonna attack you. You'll be fine. Head down to Corfu while these ships make a little more repairs to last long out there, in case they're gonna be hunted down. Oh yeah, by the way, when is that debate ending? Oh, the debate will continue to release, which is a 10% chance of ending each month. Which again, we're trying to extend officer commissions. It's just to slow down on the decay. And ever since we've been getting a lot of money through other means, especially the looting of foreign cities, let's bribe that MP, just to get it back up. So the debate will be ending soon. And will definitely be a victory. Can't move, okay. As you were, but that fort will be going down soon. Sooner or later. I'm sure they're gonna have to come down soon. And then we'll destroy their army too. And you're gonna need a lot of war score to capture these highly developed territories. Which, I might add, won't pillage. %. There goes the old admiral. He died in an accident while leading his troops in an exercise. What exercise? What exercise were they doing at sea? Ottoman peasants. Need a new place to expand because I still attend that the entirety of Anatolia should go to the Karamanese, which I often call them as the good Turks compared to, you know, the bad ones. It's a silly thought. Alright, they're out of here. Take care of the rest. Turn them loose. Alright, new admiral. Two and two. So continue to add up and you're still going over the limit. Which I'll be send a few transports. I can make it up to 30 transports to transport 30,000 strong. You know. Trips out there. And that's it for the Venetian fleet. Where did their navy go? Does this area have a shipyard? Yes. We can make repairs here. Try to get them off of their comfort zone. To Malta. We have Tuscan ships keeping at bay. And finally we're gonna elect somebody new and get rid of this cruel guy. Which I still want a... Wait. Look, you got your tech. You're a bit ahead of time on everything, but... For once, give me a military candidate. No, wait. You need to core these provinces. Still. Actually, let's have another 7 years for one more bureaucrat candidate then. And that man better be good. You're the siege guy. Wait. Now go. Away we go. Anything else? Where's the Venetian army? They're still around. Don't venture off too far. Greedy. And why can't we have good ones? We keep getting negative trade princes. Got him busy, hopefully. Growth of Cossacks' power. While few would dispute their influence on the steppes, the Cossacks have many things working against them when it comes to getting influence in the halls of power. The despise them would see them all brought to work as serfs under Latvinia, and their manners have not brought them many friends in Zagreb. Lately, things have been going their way, and they managed to defend their settlements, and their services to the state as raiders are indisputable. So, influence up. Which, in fact... Yeah, one day I'll give you another privilege, just to help you out here. And I know my prestige isn't as great, but you just wait till we go further down, just to help you guys out with the land ownership and all that. If I was to give you another privilege, it would likely be for this. Or expand the regiments even more. As we said, we're considering about creating a fourth army, a Croatian Cossack army. We consider. But anyways, invasion of Malta begins. They'll put up a resistance. What? Obviously. Defensive planner. You should brought a few artillery with you. No need to breach the walls. Victory in the Parliament. There you go. Extend officer commissions for the next 10 years. Where are we at this point? Again, it may not look like much, but it'll slow them down. Never heard of that notification before. It slightly kind of gave me a little jump scare, because I wasn't sure what the heck that is. Because I never played as a parliamentarian country before in the game. Never gone that far. 97% war score. But honestly, I'd rather get the other nations to peace out before dealing with the rest. Pull back. And also, there better be a hell lot of money for this after this war, because I really want to spend money on, again, considering the Cossack army for Croatia, and in addition, building universities, because you gotta own at least 5 universities. And of these occupied territories I plan on taking, it doesn't look like any of them are universities since they're just relatively new. Oh, actually there is one. Be sure to build a few universities on the most developed provinces. It's a transport. Sink it. Now go pick him up and send him back to Bulgaria. Because we may have an uprising in our hands. What do you want? Pillage you? No. No pillaging. Saving that aggressive expansion for all of this. It's just reparations and some money. And that is that. Wait for this fort to fall, then we'll hear it from 2 Sicilies soon. That's Venice. Not yet. Part of rest. Italian engineer available. Slow down. A siege engineer from Milan. Azone de Saluzzo has arrived at our court, offering his services to the prince. He claims to be well versed in the art of building a formidable Italian bastion fort, the Trasse Italiane, which our military theorists have been desperate to humiliate. However, his services will not come cheaply. Oh, of course not cheaply. Because, you know, we still got that loan to repay. It's for fort defense, but we do kind of need military power these days, so yeah, give it here. I'll be sure to take loans off of Venice. 30 years old. Zagreb. Lombard. There. This would help to get some ideas that's related to quality. I said, got you and kept you in bay. And plus, taking Venice would definitely help the naval force limit jump up big time, where the navy is much more affordable. Get rid of it. As you were. Internal conflicts in Scotland. Oh, would you look at this? There's the remnant. Turn around. And you are gonna dispatch the Bulgarian separatists. Get them away from there. Yeah. Now our infantry will fight like lions, one would think. Not yet. Not until these guys are out first. You got a long walk to get back there. Alright, what do you need? So, 2 Sicilies will say look at the Tuscany, as it should be, to connect with Genoa. Campania will be pillaged. No. Gives up all claims of Croatia, which honestly I could care less. Bologna can no longer be a subject. And an alliance of France, yeah, that's a big one. But gave up claims on me, I don't really care about that. Actually I do, because I thought it would add up but no it doesn't. And about as much money as you can give me, which they will. So in actuality we'll be getting this amount. And peace power for both Croatia and Tuscany. No aggressive expansion on my part, but for Tuscany, yes. So yes, I'm all for that, including in the alliance with France, because the last thing I ever want to do is to have France breathing down on our neck, even though we're not bordered them yet, but their overall influence, you know? At least it'll make Tuscany happy. 2 of my most trusted Italian allies. Now go on, get out of there. Just gonna go somewhere. 100% war score, but still would love to have Verona for myself. Because it's another valuable land. But Genoa has a claim to it. Genoa wouldn't be happy if one day this falls under Croatian control. If we were to finish off Venice. And I'm not going to hit what they're suggesting. But I do know that taking the war goal is going to cause a... Well, there is that you have claims to, including that one. So where does this lead to? Venice, Ottoman Papal State, yipe. Yeah, that's what I mean. Including France. Give me a moment. Okay, so here's what I would come up with. I mean, these territories are exactly what I wanted. But of course we can't get this because the war score demand is just way high, because you are taking some of the most developed territory in Europe. Interesting. Well, what about regarding money? Okay, they won't afford it. We'll get that down in just a moment. There. Oh, wait, one day. Of course. Okay, now... This may cause a coalition against me, but of course if they do that, well, good luck with that. Because, you know... Wait, even if France is involved, we have the Commonwealth, we have the Mamluks, Karaman, Akunulu. We have Genoa, we have Tuscany. Do you really think you want to fight against us? Is that something you're willing to risk your lives for? I ain't afraid. Not anymore, anyways. Although, yeah, just as I feared, not enough to core them all. We'll only get 131 of that amount. Enough to pay off that loan eventually, in a year's time. And this is going to be the absolute last time that I'm going to expand my borders in any significant way. Possibly with the exception of Circassia, which is steppe, less developed, easy to govern. But we wanted this area just to enrich our country. We care about money making here. We're not going to be hell-bent on conquering all of continental Europe. No. Just to enrich a poorly developed Croatia. Well, poorly developed may be an understatement, but still. Prestige will be nearly at the max. Between 1 and 102 as far as aggressive expansion is concerned. And a lot of countries will feel threatened that way. But might join a coalition. Key word might. We will never expand into highly developed areas ever again. Just only the ones that benefits Croatia and eventually the Cossacks. And there'll be no reparations. Just take what you can get. So what are the names of the areas? So Furlania, Trivesto, Padova, Milici. Milici? That's a Croatian name for Venice. Interesting. Assign this province to my trade company. Trade company? About to say trade companies. What did it mean by that? But of course, once you made this area to a state, I'm sure you're going to have to assign another seat in the parliament. And it's really going to make them mad, obviously. And obviously, this is the first core. You're going to have to make it to a core. Go for the most expensive one first, and that's also the most highly developed in the area. And one more thing regarding this. Construct the Suez Canal. Well, I believe that would be up to the Mamluks. Honestly, never seen that option before. It says assign this province to my trade company. This will give less tax and manpower but increase its value for trade. And since you just knocked it down, Genoa has the highest trade power for now until autonomy is lowered. This first. And that. And that. And later on we'll core one more, then everything will be a-okay. And obviously turn this into a state. which are governing capacity as far as we're concerned. Yeah, definitely enough. That's the reason why I said don't want to expand significantly, but just on the areas that would enrich us. Generals concerned by our unmanly tactics. Our focus on defense is robbing our units of the elan they need to be truly successful on the battlefield. Our generals are deeply concerned about this. There are rumors that our countries snicker about us behind our back. Who cares what others think? Trade company. Go that way. And if you can't take care of the loss, then they'll. And it appears not a uh-oh. Perhaps we've gone too far. They've entered into a military coalition. That's a first. Position yourself over here. Hey! Come back over here. You can continue on your way. So Mons is the first country that has formed the anti-Croatian coalition, one would think. But remember, if one of the coalitions enters war against Croatia, all the others will join in. So you're the first. Because everybody's outraged. Now, listen here. Perhaps there's a misunderstanding. You may have been misinterpreted and misunderstood. That's what I'm going to do to them. Improve relations. Just to say, hey, what we did here is to enrich our country. We're not systematically trying to take all of Europe. No. We don't seek to become an empire, one would think, but Commonwealth conquest against Great Ord. Great Ord guaranteed by Ottomans. Well, I do have a claim on one of these areas, but no, they dropped out. They don't have the manpower to take on. Okay, we'll be there. Who else you're up against? Ajam and Uzbek. There's little Ajam. And Uzbek is not intimidating. Honestly, you've got this. But, of course, you may have to send one army to the Pontic Steppe. You know, at least contribute to something. Go transform. Molton tells us a event about elephants. Among possible options, they went to let them tremble for us. Elephants in Europe. You mean in India? Hey! Get in there. Eat them all. Yeah, let's just protect the Pontic Steppe. That's going to be our participation. We'll have a limited offensive. in addition to protecting our area of interest. And possibly go over to Uzbek, which is far from here, which I'm in no mood of going over there. While there's a coalition on my back. So the Ottomans dropped out. I thought we were going to fight against them, which I was a bit eager, honestly. But, no, of course not. They would ditch him, man. You're getting back together with Kunulu. Really? But you're also out of... Come on. You're a bit contradictory, you know? But honestly, I'm telling you to break your alliance with the... No. Favors. Of course we're at war. We're gonna have a stern talking to. Later on. Fighting against them both. All aboard. Here comes the Commonwealth's armies. Provincial unrest in all these areas, obviously. Just one more month. The capital's over here. Go ahead and put a little bit of work on it. If you manage to occupy it, switch to Croatia. Oh, excuse me. Commonwealth. Because I don't want any more territorial gains, otherwise they're gonna be mad at me. So we may have to pull back one army. Trying to. It is the end of the golden era. You've enjoyed 50 years of prosperity, but all great things must come to an end. So that's how long our golden era expanded, and you can only use it once per campaign. Oh, really? We have 2 universities. Found at least 3 different trade companies. Trade company. Is that what they mean by that? For my own trade company? Even though I had interest about North Africa a little bit. In the sense of getting rid of the pirate threat for good. And bordering with Spain makes it precarious at best, as they don't like me allying with the Mamluks. Can't say I blame them. pay it. As much as I'd like to have that money to start building 3 more universities, apparently. You do your work. So far, only 1, and no one else is willing. Oh boy, claim against one of the Austrian provinces. Switch to Commonwealth. It's their war, not mine. Not interested in territory. As I said, my participation in that war will be limited at best. Yeah, we're just telling them to just drop the coalition. No one's gonna get hurt around here. And we'll see the results of the war between Tunis and Tripoli. Oh, sorry, I forgot. It increased, in fact. This is what you get. Oh, by the way. Merchantman. Again, some of the transport ships are just obsolete type ships, but they're never meant to be engaged in combat, so I'm never going to upgrade those. They practically just serve the purpose. No, you can't go in further. Sugla. Simply for the sake of it. Justify trade conflict. There, now you can transport 30,000 strong army. Speaking of which, you better pull back now. Because there's trouble in the homeland. Sending them. To Athens. It's all Austria's fault, you know. Could be anywhere at this point. Still not quite there yet. At least that'll keep Russia busy. Even though they do have an awesome amount of manpower. Prince's reputation tarnished. Some sort of propaganda text circulating in court about how Pavel Ozegovich is a ruthless powermonger. This might impact our relations with our subjects and other countries. We'll embrace the reputation. Don't want to lose stability. As much as I would like to gain some. Would love to sail for that. Coming right up. server. I have not sent these light ships to, you know, protect trade power in certain areas yet, because when you have that overextension up like that, it hurts the trade power abroad. Local militias. Many military duties are not performed by the professional armies of the Council, but rather by local militias based around the cities, castles, and forts in the various parts of the country. These militias often know the local area and provide very good value for money as garrisons, scouts, and gatherers of intelligence, but their quality as regular troops are very varied, to say the least. It's been suggested we send professional soldiers to at least instruct all militias in the country, that we rely less on them when conducting operations in many areas. This would, according to our generals, lead to an increase in quality and makes us less vulnerable to things we cannot control. It would, however, most likely mean dismissing a great number of our reserve troops. Let us not rely on the local abilities. We'll take that big manpower hit, but we'll be fine. Drill. It's been a while since we've done all that. Honestly, I think they got this war in the bag. He'll be stationed in Crimea. We'll be going back to Bosnia. I see the Commonwealth fleet there. It's nice to know. Still hasn't gone away. Guess whatever you do, just don't do anything. We'll end this episode as soon as, well, not only that war to end. You only took that piece of land? And I know I did not want any territory, but hey, thanks for the money anyway. And you got all these ducats? Well, I kind of need them. Sucker. That's from the spoils of war. Don't worry about that. I need the money to start building universities. So that way we can get a little bit more splendor to get whatever I may be interested in. Also, what's going on down there? I fear that this may end in white peace. What? Because I have issues with piracy coming from them. And now that everything's at peace again, return and we'll mothball it. And then subsequently going to be sending some of you galleys out to hunt for pirates. Because you know, once they stop fighting, they're going to go back to doing what they're doing. Split. Said Venice Trade Node. No. I meant Ragusa. At least normalcy has returned. Well, it's about to be. Once we get rid of that overextension in a few months, get rid of that corruption, and then we'll be making a lot of fortune again. But at least we're getting some from war reparation from the other countries. So that's where it stops. And got all this great crown land, which I'd be very happy to expand it, so that increases the special unit force limit. And this one, the recruit cross 6 leaders, is also very good, which I'll probably give that as third privilege. You know what, these two in fact. And a possibility of this, because I want to develop a little more of Azov. Just one more, then everything will be going back to work. No more corruption. At least for a moment. Tea and sugar. Originally a Chinese beverage, tea became quickly the new Portuguese national drink after its introduction in Portugal. Mixed with sugar, it is consumed by the rich, the poor, and even Queen Consort Regent Maria. At least that'll calm them down. And nearly almost all the inflation is gone. Again with that. And you know Mantua was a member of the HRE. What happened to the HRE? There's only 34 princes. Yeah, go ahead. Police that matter. Even though there's not much of Bohemia left. Split. Just to add it up a little. Really? Okay then. But sooner or later, we're gonna have to... Okay, they've finished their war down there. Doesn't look like there was any change of territory, but that means pirates are back in action. And no coalition. See, I told you that problem would go away. Three, two, three, one. Actually, we'll end the episode after we record this last one, turn it to a state, and then we can live in peace for a good long while until we start fabricating claims against Triple Eight just to end the piracy threat. In fact, both of them. Because we're getting tired of their bull. In the meantime, they'll be mothballed for maintenance reasons. A cathedral's an upgraded, you know, church. But I kind of want to lower that land maintenance because our military is ever growing, and it will grow even further because we plan on creating a Cossack army. So keep in mind, so I'll spend it on it. A little more. Now let's have a look at America briefly. Grow for the business of books. Our efforts to maximize trading profits in the area of Venezia has borne fruit in the province of Padova. The entrepreneurs have managed to greatly increase the output of books and found new markets in our capital for processed goods. Excellent. Lot of natives there. Portuguese Mexico, Spanish Louisiana, a bit of Florida. Yep, vast majority of them live there. Because none of the European powers ever bothered to go up there. Crap. Well, I was done messing with you anyway. And there's New Providence, that pirate republic. Pirate Prince Benjamin Gates, an American. Where did they? Ah, allied of England. That's why they were able to make gains. Even fought against Florida, which Florida is a colony of Spain. It's a pirate principality, so it's a pirate republic. Smugglers hearing, consolidation of power, union of states, pirate king, devolution of powers, political principles, citizenry, and bureaucratic apparatus. They based their capital around there, I believe. No? No? Where the hell is their capital? Oh, their capital's over there. In St. Lucia. Okay. Clearly they are the Pirates of the Caribbean. Alright, now let's end this episode on that note. Once it's cored, turn it to a state. And I guess we'll have to spend it on more cores. Because you turn this into a state. Use 81 or governing capacity, bringing up this total to that amount, which is enough. And that means you're going to have to sign another seat in the parliament, and I know where to put it. Right here. Because the production efficiency tax modifier and all that. Yeah. Ugh. Ugly. Honestly, I think we shouldn't spend on that idea. But this is just like the Crimea thing. But nonetheless, when the autonomy of these areas are low enough until when it's properly cored, then we can go to work. So we hope you enjoyed this episode, and then see it in the next one, which again, don't expect Croatia to expand anywhere anytime soon for the time being. We just try to live in peace, get the cores up, and then the real fortunes would start coming in when we utilize the wealth of Venezia. Once it's all lowered and all that. But until then, so long for now.